From He-Man to She-Ra, to DC to Marvel, to great works like Shakespeare, to fantasies like Star Wars and Harry Potter, they've all been cancerified
No, God!
by the woke.
Fuck.
And now Ian Fleming, they come for you, except the calls are coming from inside the house.
No!
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
is what's next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo here. What's next? Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday. Well, we've seen a lot of nostalgia. We've seen a lot of great works. We've seen a lot of idiocy, stupidity, and moronism when it comes to what used to be. You know, cartoons that you watched as a kid, books that you read as a teenager or even adult, and of course, movies, fantasy movies that you enjoyed. Well, all that's changed because of the woke pill. You have the woke mob saying, do what I say or we will cancel you. And sadly, we've seen a number of companies bend the knee, grab both ankles and saying, give it to me hard. Marvel, DC, anyone. Well, now they come for Ian Fleming's, not just the Bond movies. We've seen some of that, but of course now they're coming from the books, but the voices, the loudest, the changes that are being made are inside the Fleming house. Let's take a look. This comes out of Washington Examiner. James Bond books edited by sensitivity readers for racist language. A series of new editions of James Bond's novels set to be released in April will be edited from author Ian Fleming's own company, Original Prose, and features a disclaimer after a review by sensitivity readers. The new editions will commemorate the 70th anniversary of the publication of Fleming's first Bond novel, which introduced the famed English spy to the masses prior to the launch of the ever-expanding film franchise. But language present in the original 53 text, including the N-word and other terms and phrases describe race as being removed, according to a report from The Telegraph. The new books will also include a disclaimer that explains the new editions that are not identical to those published previously. Quote, this book was written at a time when terms and attitudes might be considered offensive by some modern readers or commonplace. The disclaimer also reads, according to The Telegraph, a number of updates have been made to this edition while keeping as close as possible to the original text and the period in which it is set. Yes, because if your butt hurt, we don't give two fucks. Actually, no, they give two fucks. That's correct. Let me correct myself there. The most notable change of the removal is the N-word, which is primarily being replaced by black person or black man, but other racist descriptions and reporting being eliminated entirely. The report said that some of the changes previously made during Fleming's lifetime with his approval, interesting, especially for U.S. editions of the books. Quote, following Ian's approach, we look at the instances of several racist terms across the books and removal a number of individual words or else swap them for terms that are more accepted today, but in keeping with the period in which the books were written. Ian Fleming Publications. We encourage people to read the books for themselves when the new paperbacks are published in April. The sensitivity edits of the 007 novels come a week after the United Kingdom publisher Puffin sparked widespread outrage when it announced that it will be making substantial edits to authors Roald Dahl's beloved children's books, including Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach, over sensitivity concerns. The publisher later backtracked and announced that it would continue to publish Dahl's original prose in a separate classic edition because, of course, they got roasted. My thoughts. Well, biggest surprise of this is that they're doing two versions. They're allowing the original text, of course, with many, many, many disclaimers for sensitive readers. And then, of course, the watered-down version, which pretty much no one's going to read. Just like any novel, when you take original text, original context out of it, terms, meanings, all of a sudden now it loses its meaning. It loses what made the book great. You know, it's like taking 1984 and saying, hey, well, you know what, things happen here and there, and everybody lived happily ever after. No. You know, when you do that to Shakespeare, when you do that to the Harry Potter novels, I mean, look at J.K. Rowling. I mean, they continue to attack her, even though it's not about the context of the Harry Potter books, but because she states a simple fact that men are men or women are women, but the attacks continue. And eventually they were going to come for Ian Fleming. Eventually they were going to come for the Bond novels because, of course, we've seen a taste of the wokeness in the last Bond movie, which, of course, surprise for anyone, Bond does die, supposedly. And, of course, a new Bond taken over. Of course, she's a black and she's female, of course. But at the end of the day, when the changes were coming from inside the house, I think a lot of people were like, well, it wasn't so bad at all. But if there were no changes, eventually the woke mob was going to come for Ian Fleming and for those novels, just like they did when they attacked Dr. Seuss. And you knew that changes were going to be made. But a silver lining is that when you have Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and other novels of his, they got hit with backlash. And so they kind of left it alone, except we're going to make a little watered down version. So, to appease everybody. No, just leave it alone. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.